German Grand Prix is underway, and it's a rocket start there on the outside for Zarco's into second place. The dream start then from the front row for Aprilia's Aleix Espargaro. Quartararo back in fourth from him. Quartararo pushed back to fourth. The two Frenchmen then third and fourth ahead of Miller and Miguel Oliveira there in fifth place, trying to get a way through on Fabio Quartararo. They sweep up through turns 9 and 10. Turn 12 for the first time. Zarco thought about a move. He wasn't close enough on Marquez. It's as you were. Now will he ahead of Martin, but Marquez leads at the end of lap 1 here in Germany. It's a familiar sight at the Saxons back fourth place in the first corner. Miguel Oliveira just struggling to get going in the early stages of this. He's sixth, he's got it. This P21, he's in P21 now. Franco Morbidelli had a shocking first lap. He's last, down in 27. He came from a long way back to get that one nailed as well. Excellent stuff. He's got that feeling back. Up alongside Marc Marquez. He's going to have a look. He's through. Brilliant from Aleix. Nothing wrong with Aprilia's corner speed. Aleix Espargaro's Aprilia. He gathers it all back up, but Marquez will lead at the end of the second lap. Here comes Zarco though. Look at the Ducati power. Between Quartararo and Miller as they came out of the first corner. Vinales made a mistake. He did a 125 flat. That's done in ninth. Nakagami at the moment not really doing anything with that soft tyre so far. He's 10th. So we've seen how good Marquez is, particularly in that final he did last time around. It looks like Marquez has got a bit of a buffer this time. 5 or 6 bike lengths as they climb up towards turn 10. But it's that familiar sight out front. It's like rolling back the years here. Marc Marquez leading at the Saxon Rings be completed. It will be Marc Marquez who sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:22.190, less than in the background. Ika Lecuona's just gone and made a move on his Tech 3 teammate Petrucci for 13th. You're right, Steve, about Binder. P6, he's circulating in 6th place right now. Jack Miller in 4th, the factory Ducati ride. Get on terms though with Johann Zarco and make a move through turn 12. Yeah, it was the rear stability here as you're carrying a lot of Marquez. No, Marquez just a little bit later on the brakes, but again there, it looked like the Aprilia man at the place. Yamaha not where they want to be across the board. Yeah, Oliveira's got into his groove now. He just set the fastest lap. Oliveira there then, a 22 flat. They're still some way off that all-time lap record set by Marc Marquez. Oh dear, what? Petrucci and Alex Marquez, not the time for Petrucci to be chewing dirt. He needs results to keep his seat. The best of luck this weekend. He was badly balked in qualifying by Neo Bastianini yesterday, and he's been tangled. Espargaro also thinking about another nibble at Marc Marquez out front. Maverick Vinales' mistake dumped him to last. Across the line we go, on board with Aleix Espargaro on the approach as well. We've got all 6 manufacturers inside the top 8 right now, and they're all very, very close. Around here as well, that will be a tough task for Joan Mir. Simon, you've got some thoughts?
Yeah, guys, looking at the times, they're doing between half and 3/4 of a second slower than they can on those new tyres, relatively new. They're doing faster than that yesterday with 20 litres.
Yeah, thanks for that, Simon. Also, to add to that, some of the guys that have got the better pace are mired behind other bikes. The likes of Quartararo and Oliveira can't really get into that. He's crashed. That's going to move Morbidelli and Vinales at one spot. He was running in 18th place. Lorenzo Savadori, he's down at turn 10. That's a fast old tumble for the Aprilia man. Their own personal best laps in this Grand Prix. The slightly quicker man was Marquez, your race leader. Binder has got more speed at the moment than Quartararo. Just cannot find a way through. Paul Espargaro. Taka Nakagami really didn't capitalise on the extra performance of that soft rear tyre at the start of this race. He missed the start, and unfortunately he's got an awful lot of work to do now to benefit. Gets them over the line last time around. Here's the crash from Savadori then, and as Matt says, this is a quick place to be coming off. Losing the front end. Luckily, he's absolutely fine. So the pressure is Johann Zarco. A couple of rear end twitches on this lap from the Pramac Ducati rider. Has just cut him maybe a 10th or 2 adrift now of Aleix for the time being. And then Paul Espargaro in 11th, Nakagami in 12th are doing 1:22.2s. They're all running identical pace, the top men. Nothing to split between them whatsoever. Miguel Oliveira's perspective. Quartararo got the initial jump, didn't he? And then Aleix Espargaro picked up Fabio Quartararo. I knew that move was coming from Marquez. He was always going to be aggressive. The front, you can see here, Jack Miller now is eyeing up a move on Aleix Espargaro. there. Juan Mir is finally through on Jorge Martin and has moved up into 9th place. Yeah, he had to work hard for that pass. At any point now, you can come in to change for wets if you so wish to, because we might have a few spots of rain out there on circuit. This race has turned into quite the day. I just wondered with those few rain spots falling, Marquez has got to hurry up big time here. Look at the gap he's pulled on in 3 sectors. He's pulled the pin. The Repsol Honda man, he's just decided to go for it now. Protection with rain coming. He's a on Zarco. Oliveira now starting to charge. Jack Miller trying to find a way through. He had to. The white flag with the red cross. That's brave. On the curbs, there are spots of rain falling, and he slings it up the inside on the curbs, Miguel Oliveira. Yeah, I just wonder here, waiting to be disturbing the Aprilia man. Unbelievable. Can you believe this? Can you believe what we're seeing here? Up down here now, it's 1.5 seconds clear of Jack Miller in sector 2. Simon,
Guys,
let's go out. All-out attack, and if you're comfortable with mixed conditions, that's what you need to do. Here comes Miguel Oliveira. He's going to have advantage. He's perfectly placed. They've made the call. He's been so good at judging changing track conditions. Quartararo finally not comfortable with the rain falling in this early stage. The approach now then into turn 1. He's going to have trouble. Make hay while the sun shines, I think is the quote. He's now 1.7 camera lens, couldn't you? You see, this is the difference between Marquez, Zarco and Quartararo. At the back of these guys' minds is the Marquez.
Oh, that's it. Sorry,
weren't they? Yeah, I was panicked. I thought initially they're Polespargo every time, but no, it's not. They're just readying for Marquez and a flag to he can take the big risk. These two men, they know that a mistake now could be really costly. Here he comes up the inside, up to second again. Further back, what's happened to Alex Rins? Has he been spooked a bit? Of course, that wrist, let's not forget, he won't want to take any start lap number 12. Nowhere near halfway at the moment. On board here with Johan Zarco, looking at fellow Frenchman Fabio Quartararo. They are 1 and 2 in the World Championship. Marquez, it was 1.9 through sector 1 on this 12th lap. Let's keep tabs on Oliveira, Marquez. See, the trouble is, if these guys do just go out there and burn up the tyres thinking it's going to rain and then it doesn't, some coolness in the tyres, but let's see how it all pans out. There's Quartararo then still ahead of Zarco in the battle for fifth on 7 or 8 onwards. It's done Quartararo and Zarco almost 3 seconds out of contention, just quicker than Marquez ahead of him. The fan wall cheering on their rider, then a 22.025. Now we know from yesterday that Miguel is more than capable of delivering 21. Marquez just get away. Mapping 2 for Aleix Spargo. Is that already going into a tyre preservation? Tyres, 30 laps, 10 left-handers. That's 300 corners on the left-hand side. That is a real tactically trying to work out what their plan is of action in this Grand Prix. There's why Martini's doing a great job, the rookie 9th. There's going to be any silver lining though, does it for him? Maybe for one part of Repsol Honda. That's 21.7. They exchange 21.772. Again, he finds another 10th on Marquez. Been playing down their chances this weekend. HRC, Honda's nervous at the best of times. I wonder how he's feeling now. Get the heart rate monitor on him. Well, Marquez and Oliveira at the moment on a quicker rider's bike, a 1:22.063, which is 3 tenths slower than Oliveira, a couple of tenths slower than Marquez. Yeah, always. Oliveira at the moment second, Binder in 7th place for the Red Bull KTM factory riders. Right in behind him, Zarco 6th. Up towards turn 13 to tick off another lap. Comes to Oliveira's fastest lap with his own at 1:21.772. That was a couple of tenths quicker. Quartararo mighty close. They were all doing 22 flats, but it's still Marquez and Oliveira that got the slightly better pace. There's a long way to go. We're going to reach halfway point the next time Marquez crosses the line and they'll get through sector 1. He's led before in 2021, of course, in that flag to stays dry here. The Saxon ring and the undisputed king of the ring is on course at the moment. Sunday afternoon cruise, but he's not the same Marquez in 2021 as he's fighting back to full fitness after that cruise too. Just keep exchanging fastest laps of this Grand Prix, and again they are the only 2 men that can do it. The moment in 6 has just dropped away from the tail of Quartararo and it's falling into the hands of Binder and Mir. That's the problem, doesn't really deviate. It's not been below 1.7 seconds since about lap 8 or 9, and the stress on the left-hand side of that tyre really starts to become a key factor. There's Paulus Spargaro. 2 weeks ago, we weren't expecting any heroics from him. Nakagami's not really done much with that soft rear. Rossi's there in 14th place. The red is into the late 22s at the moment. He was lapping in the late 121s this because he's in 5th place. Rossi's 14, matching lap times at the front again, the same. 21.8 for Maverick Vinales 18th. Franco Morbidelli last, right at the back. Maverick Vinales has never finished a MotoGP points once in his Grand Prix career. It was right here in the Saxon Ring back in 2012. 17th he was. Also, Jack Miller now is falling away, cannot maintain the pace to keep up with Miguel Oliveira. However, Marquez is much the stronger in the first 2 sectors. That's where he's able to take those crucial couple of tenths out of Oliveira, and then a little bit of better edge.
Alberto Puig, round of applause. It's another 21.8 from Marquez, and 21.9. Here comes Binder up into 6th place ahead of Zarco, but he's really, really wide, and he loses it again.
That's 6th place with that Binder and Mir for company.
This was the move. Is it all too little too late?
You can see Jack Miller struggling ahead of him, Steve. He knows that there's a podium up for grabs here because Spargo to worry about. He can now start working out a plan to get on par with Miller and then work out a plan to pass him as well.
Oliveira's lap time here. They come across the line.
Sector 3 is where the KTM is better. It just seems to be managing the rear
to 6th. Across the line we go at 21.8. 3/10 quicker that time again, Oliveira. The gap is down to 1.5.
You're having a real battle here for 6th place. Zarco's got Mir to worry about as well, who's had a lot of work to get himself into P8 right now.
Yeah, they found something in Sector 4. The first time through Sector 1 that the gap's been around 1.6, 1.7. It could be down to about 1.3 by the end of the
Really paying dearly for that 10th place on the grid and a really poor first few laps. He was down in 15th place at one point, but he's doing 22.
Bravo, the Frenchman, the championship leader then, is onto the podium. He's in 3rd. In the meantime, about to come across the line in a moment. It's 4 seconds between Marquez and Oliveira.
Marquez down to 122 flat again. All about tyre management and who's got the best grip for those last 10 laps.
Right, Binder doing a great job.
He was down to a 21.849. He did so much work in terms of race pace, race-winning pace, Bagnaia, but he's paying so much for that heavy traffic in qualifying yesterday. If he'd been on the front row,
for him, it's not going to be a podium. The Italian with 11 laps to go. He might still get something on offer though. There's a big group of riders to play for in here, and out front the gap's going to come down again. It's another couple of tenths being shaved off here by Miguel.
Now Oliveira's nibble time away from Marquez. They're a long way clear, those two.
Bagnaia, he's stuck behind Jorge Martin at the moment. If he can get past him, he can get involved in this group.
He's got to put a move on Marco. He can't afford to get still behind Martin for any longer. Simple as that.
Quartararo trying to get into the early stages of this race, just a bit further behind there. Brad Binder now, a pest to Aleix Spargaro trying to get through.
The pressure on Quartararo, he can't relax because there's a freight train gathering behind him. By Aleix Spargaro, Binder's there himself for any kind of chance to find his way back into contention.
Well, in the meantime, out front, Marc Marquez is the man who won last time out in Catalonia.
Yeah, we don't normally see Marc Marquez buckle when he's now with 9 laps to go for an 11th consecutive victory. An 11th consecutive victory for Honda, who've had a nightmare. The race paceometer was back on the money, wasn't it? 21.9 is what we thought the race pace would be. Very, very close to that indeed. The front of the Honda, the turning of the Honda in those gnarly first couple of sectors is working better than the KTM, but it's the rear grip of the KTM.
This huge bundle of riders. Bagnaia will be a part of that group shortly.
From sector 1 to sector 3, Steve Oliveira's taken 3.
It's normally the Jaws music the other way round. Yeah. If you see +1 Marquez, you start worrying. Today, Binder out up the inside of Aleix Spargaro, having a good ride this, but again, he's just gone in a little bit too hot.
In 21s, he's again the fastest man on the circuit, is the Italian. Do you know what? Okay, but he has got podium pace unquestionably.
Well, there's a podium on at the same time. Wouldn't that be something?
Cracking ride by Binder. He was last at the end of a task, but he always finds something at 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, doesn't he?
Meantime, out front, the gap maintained at 1.1 between Marquez and Oliveira.
And again, it must be now 29.9 from Oliveira. 1.1 seconds time in his pocket as well.
Zarco and Juan Mir, as Binder now sets his sights on Jack Miller up ahead. 7 laps to go, but it's a short hold for some time if he goes on to win this one. What are we watching here? A replay into turn 1. Has he just gone in a bit hot? 1.3 up through sector 2, but it's sector 3 and 4 you need to keep an eye on. Alberto Puig to Takeo Okiyama.
Turbulent times for Marc Marquez and HRC of late. The Japanese superpower in their worst losing streak. The gap just a whisker over a second as they cross the line, and again Oliveira is just...
That's not going to be enough. He's going to have to find more than a 10th a lap. Marquez is doing a great job under pressure here. He's tumbling. He'll know. God, imagine the emotions, but Oliveira, he is such a steam round.
It's starting to spin up. Has he got enough life? I think again there on the throttle. He has another moment. Marquez is
the man of the era versus the man of the moment. Miguel Oliveira comes into this Grand Prix with such form. In Santi Hernandez there, Mark's race engineer.
Fair to say he's got no fingernails left. All then splits Marquez and Oliveira. We're all set here for a grandstand finish, aren't we? 15. As soon as he clicked into his rhythm and came through some traffic, he's been supreme. He's now up into 7th place.
But we've said it so often in MotoGP. Getting into Q2, getting in qualifying. Well, will that prick the ears up of Miguel Oliveira?
Again through turns 8 and 9, you could see that Repsol Honda.
Here is Quartararo. He would extend his lead going into Assen with this result in third. He'd take that, in this race. Here comes Marquez then, 4 laps to go across the line, and the gap is 9/10.
That's 9/10, 1 second buffer. Oliveira has thrown absolutely everything at him here. He can't do any kind of mistake.
There are journalists at the moment in the media centre and around the world typing up the biggest, ready to spoil all of that.
Well, there's been some great motorcycling comebacks. You think of Mick doing in 90, Anna Carrasco, Supersport 300 winner last weekend after such a serious back injury.
Not Marquez, because the gap's gone over a second again, and there'll only be 3 laps to go when we cross the line next time.
Criticism about the current Honda and its lack of results. Marquez, 1.2 seconds, keeping the pressure fully on Miguel Oliveira, and as Marquez broken that resistance because there was a big gap, significant gap.
Broken Miguel Oliveira, he's just, I think, accepted second. In the meantime, Binder, what a job from him. He's through on Jack Miller. We had Glacier Spargaro, and he might even have something to say about his teammate up ahead as well.
Bagnaia was doing more than race. Everybody else is tired to drop off a cliff. Pekka Bagnaia, he might just here be letting Binder streak away. Box the gap now is up to 1.5 seconds, still through the third sector.
It's crashed in Marc Marquez's career. A career ender, some thought. We thought he might be back at the end of... Now he's on the brink of some comeback story. The comeback king, the king of the ring. He's on for an otters of the Sachsenring circuit left. And he's up to 2 seconds clear now
on his position as he gets the job done. This is Binder finding her way up to 4th place ahead of Jack Miller. What a ride it's been for Brad Binder, come from the 5th row.
Yes, the Sachsenring circuit might be masking 1 or 2 issues for Honda. So hard in that test in Catalonia, he wanted to be ready for this one, and it looks like now the moment has arrived, because as Marc Marquez climbs up,
of everybody connected to Marc Marquez, he has been through some of the darkest days you could imagine. You can imagine the mental and physical turmoil that this man has gone through over the last 11 months or so, but nearly 6 here in the Sachsenring.
Alberto Puig looking on. He's had some tough times in the last few months. Marquez is half, but he can't believe it. The Repsol Honda guys better get ready on the edge of pit wall. Their man's coming home.
This has been truly remarkable, because Marc Marquez, he is going to remain the undisputed king of the Sachsenring. What a comeback.
4 corner left. The checkered flag is out. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. And still, what a moment in history. What a sporting story.
It is 11. It is heaven for Marc Marquez. Takeo Yokoyama can't even believe his own eyes. Incredible scenes. Incredible.
Here, tears from Takeo Yokoyama. You've never seen that before. And Alberto Pucci as well. Remarkable.
That's all ended. Forget about that. Let's live in the moment. And it's a joyous moment for Marc Marquez.
Win number 11, undefeated still at the Saxon Ring, and quite rightly. Further back, by the way, Quattararo's third to extend his championship lead ahead of Binder. Bagnaia did get Miller on the final lap. Marc Marquez and Repsol Honda. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Alberto Pucci. He's with Simon.
Alberto.
Welcome for the team and for Honda, and I mean, he deserved his win, and it's a good day. Thank you.
Huge
28-year-old.